welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, this time around in English as you may already have noticed, and today we are going to have a look at 3 different games again, which will be Cube Samurai Run, Sportium Stadium and Sky 2120. My name is Gerald, and as always I've got a couple of different things with me, which are of course the Arc Mouse, you already know about that, and we are going to use the Foldable keyboard, which is this one of course. And in the end there might be the Xbox One wireless controller in there. You can play it with it. I'm not sure if I'm going to, because in some situations it's really not that much fun. So maybe it's just standing at the side, but we will see. And yeah, other than that, of course, the main device of this whole setup here is the Lumia 950 XL still, which is the Windows 10 mobile smartphone with a wooden cover at the back, which is a Mozo cover in this case. It has a USB-C connector at the bottom, can be connected by this cable here, and the cable itself is connected to the display dock, which is standing at the side here. It's a USB-C connector there too, and of course the display dock itself is connected to the TV in this case with an HDMI cable, and like that we can show this desktop-like experience, but it's produced by the smartphone. And of course all the different devices here are connected to the smartphone by Bluetooth. If you want to know more about that, please have a look at the corner up there. There are a couple of different other videos where I'm going to show you more about that, and in more depth of course. Yeah, and other than that, let's start with the first game. The first game is called Cube Samurai Run. For that I'm going to go to my All Apps list here, clicking on that, and now we are just going to have a look for it. So I'm just going to type in Cube in this case, and you can see Cube Samurai Run, there it is, and let's see what that's all about. Yeah, the game takes a little to load, that's normal in this case, and in the end it's more or less a side-scroller but in 3D with a small little character which is a Cube Samurai, as the name suggests. And he has, yeah, so he is, as you can see, he has a sword, and you're going to have to fight enemies off with the sword, and you will have to jump around and try to avoid the shootings and stuff from the enemies. And yeah, sometimes that happens, I'm not sure why that is. Didn't have it in my first tests, but maybe that is just normal in this case. So in general it is working pretty nicely, and you can play this game pretty well. But for some reason sometimes you will have to cope with this. Not sure why. There we go. And as you can see, I'm just going to press on the play button so I can show you what's going on here. As you can see, there are a couple of different armor levels and stuff like that, which are more or less boosters and helpers for you if you are reaching a certain amount of meters and stuff like that. So I'm just going to click on Run, and here you can see how to play this game. I'm going to turn around, otherwise it's not playable, because it's not that easy to play, not that hard neither, but still. And what I'm going to use is a mouse mainly, because the left and the right mouse button will do most of the things here anyway, and so it makes more sense to play it. But you could use space and shift if you wanted to, would work too, or the finger, so touch is working too. Okay, and here we go. As you can see, he is running, and now you will have to avoid obstacles, and just to let you know, there is a double jump available, and it's going to matter how long you are going to press the button here. So this is very important to know. So if you want to jump higher or something, just press the button for a long time, and then as you can see we can go up to the upper level here, for instance, if we want to, like that. Of course there are spikes on the ground, and you are going to run into enemies which are going to fire at you, and for that you can try it hard, but you can try to fight with your sword there, or you just jump over them and kill them more or less in the air. The sword is going to be activated by the right mouse button, as you can see, and jumping is done with the left one. Okay, so try to, of course, get all the money or points or whatever that is. You can get, ouch, Ooh, that was pretty good by him. Okay. I thought that the enemies are trying to just fire at you all the time where you are at the moment, but it doesn't seem to be like that. He tries to see what I'm doing somehow, as it seems. Okay, as you can see, if you are jumping over him and then just pressing the right mouse button or whatever you are going to play with there, it's going to work too. Ouch. Okay. He's predicting that I'm going to jump, and that's a little bit scary for me there. Let's see. So in the end, as mentioned before, it's a side-scroller. It's going to be an endless run more or less, but I really like it. In general, you don't have to fight the enemies. Sometimes you can just try to overjump them and stuff like that. That's fine too. Or you just fight them like that. And yeah, it's a difference in, of course, how many points you are going to get, and there are of course different power-ups. You can see them already. So there are ouch, okay, that was bad. As you can see, there are a couple of different power-ups there that you can get. For instance, those magnets, which are going to give you all the money, more or less, because the money is going to be thrown or pulled to you, better to say. Pulled through you, or thrown at you, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, so this is more or less a game. I would say this is the last one we are doing, because I think everything is already clear what this game is all about. I like it somehow. I like the small little, guy that is running there, and of course, as mentioned before, the enemies are not too stupid or something. They're pretty good in predicting where you are going to go. So be very careful when to press and jump over the firing stuff. Yeah, at best if they are already in the air and flying through you, but it's not too easy to do that. So just try it out, and yeah, I think it's worth a try to play this game. Some might really like it, some might not. Just try it out, which kind of person you are there. Okay, so let's have a look at the second game. The second game is called Sportium Stadium. So more or less like the Olympics or something, but not really, because we are going to try to play football or soccer, better to say. And yeah, you know it, soccer at the Olympics isn't really a thing. So yes, they are. Or I think at least there were some kind of Olympics where they played soccer or something, but it's really not worth a while, because most of the nations are not going to send the best players there, because they are just occupied in the leagues and stuff like that. So it depends. Just try it out. If you want to see soccer at the Olympics, why not do it? But I wouldn't suggest to do that. Okay, so first off, let's go to the all apps list again, and we are going to press on this button there and just put in Sportium Stadium. There we are. It's a small little game, and it's pretty hard if you ask me, but let's see what that is all about. You can play it with your touch and finger settings there, which is probably the best way to play it. Other than that, you can use your mouse too, and for that I'm going to change my position again, just to be able to play it in a better way. And just to let you know, there is this kind of marketing stuff going on. I'm not really a big fan of that. I wouldn't suggest you to press any of this button on that page there. But in the game itself, it's going to be fine. So first off, as you can see, it's just a start button for us. And as you can see, here we go. And what you now have to do is you will have to swipe, more or less. Swiping is done in three different directions, better to say. Okay, that was bad. So first direction, if you are swiping towards the aims there, you're going to kick with your foot, which has to be in the right timing. So be careful that the ball throwing at you is at the right timing. You're always going to hit the lowest target there. So be also careful that the color of the lowest target is the one you want to use there. So if the ball is black, use the black target, and if it's not black, for instance it's blue, and you have to switch down or something, you have to swipe down or up to change the colors. And of course there's another one, because sometimes you're going to be thrown at with a bomb, and if that is going to happen for you, you have to dodge, so just swipe in the other direction to go out of the way. And that can be done with the mouse, which is a little bit harder as mentioned before. Okay, that wasn't good. And that wasn't good neither. Hopefully the next one at least is going to work. Yeah, okay. So swiping. And as mentioned before, I think with the mouse it's pretty hard to do that. It's not impossible, but it's pretty hard to do that. And of course, as you can see, you have only two of the bomb, the lives there. So in the end, I really think it's a pretty hard game. Okay, first one. Second one didn't work out. That worked. Yeah. Pretty bad too. I have been pretty good already in this game, but not yet. As you can see, I got 9 at the moment, but 3 isn't very good. So let's try it again. Now we are going to be thrown at with a bomb, so dodge away by just swiping to the back part there. 1, 2 go, oh, bad. Dodge away, 1 down for red, and try to, no. Okay. Oh, come on. Sometimes it's really hard to get the right color at the same time, and maybe if you are sitting a little bit back from the scheme, it's easier to play this game sometimes, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm trying that. Really bad at the moment. Okay, better. So I'm trying to dodge this, and that was fine. Trying to get that one, trying to get it in blue. One last time. As mentioned before, it's pretty hard. There is this kind of delay which is happening too if you are using the mouse with swiping action, which is a little bit normal, depending on what we are talking about. Ooh, I think this is the most I got till now. Now I have to dodge it. Okay, 1 down, go on. If you are getting accustomed to that, it's going to be better and better, of course. Okay, I'm doing pretty okay at the moment. Yeah, okay. Got a little bit of a hang of it now. I'm even better than my high score, I think. Yeah, okay. 11 wasn't bad. So, as you can see, this is a game. You can play it like that, and it's fun for a couple of maybe minutes, maybe seconds, I'm not sure. Just try it out if you like this kind of game. It might be a good one, especially if you really have to just get rid of a little bit of time at a bus station or something. There it will really help you, and it's a fun little game that is not really, occupying you for a long time or something, but if you just have to get rid of a little bit of time, it might be a good one. Okay, and now let's have a look at Sky 2120. 2120, or Sky 2120 is a fighting game where you are going to fly with somehow funny looking little aircraft or whatever it is. And you're going to fight off different kind of enemies there, and it's done in a pretty nice way somehow. So it really has, let's say, mediocre graphic, I'm not sure, but the game factor, the playing of the game itself is pretty fun, so I wanted to show it to you. As you can see, we've got a couple of different options here, and I'm going to change around again, just to show you what's going on here. And this game is best played, I would say, with the keyboard in this case. So keyboard and mouse is going to be necessary for this. So use WASD to control your WASD to control your position more or less at the screen, and use the mouse, or I think it might be possible to use the spacebar. I'm not sure. We will see. To fight or to fire more or less. Okay, so first off, let's have a look at the settings. As you can see, you can just use how loud the music and the sound should be. We can just leave it like that. And other than that, we can continue or play a new game. I will play a new game because this game has levels, so I want to show you the first level. It's a pretty long one, just to try to tell you. And as you can see, we have this little fighting. Yeah, what is it? I think some kind of an airplane or something. I'm not really sure. You don't really get to know what's going on there in most of the situations. Just to let you know, there are two different fire modes. So the first one is the one that you can use all the time, and the second one is this sonic beam, or whatever you want to call it. But the sonic beam has this, let's say it's a little bit like a mana bar or something. I'm not sure what to call it. It's a blue one at the top. It's going to fill itself up for a couple of seconds, but it takes it a while to be back to its full potential there. And just to let you know, don't bother with the coins or something that are going to be shown there. I don't think you can collect them. They're just going to be there, and you get the money from killing the enemy here. And yeah, so of course there are a couple of different enemies available here. For instance, this is more or less like a boss kind of animal. Yeah, somehow it is. Some of the guys here really look a little bit like an animal. I'm not sure why. They just made it like that. And of course you have this health bar down there too. And they're firing at you at it. And we got this guy killed. Okay. So, this doesn't mean that it's already over. You have to kill all the different enemies anyway. Or at least all of them have to run by, more or less. But after that you are going to go to the next level. And as mentioned before, the coins are not going to be collectible or something. They are just going to jump around there for some reason or the other, I'm not sure. And yeah, other than that, you really want the highest score, of course, and you are going to just play through the different levels here. And as mentioned before, with the right mouse button you can, for instance, fire this sonic beam. And just to let you know, the firing of the enemy is going to be blockable by firing at him. So if you are really in the line then, like this, it's not going to be any kind of problem for you to kill everything. And other than that, there are of course different kind of enemies here. So some are pretty small and not that easy to get, but in general those are the ones which are going to die very, very rapidly. But it's not always the case like that. There are a couple of bigger ones too, and here we got the next, or the real one for this level, more or less. So this is more or less the last part we can do here, and we are going to use our additional fire mode here to get rid of some of those, so they are not that bad to fight off. In the end, it's not a really hard game or something, at least not at the first level. There are going to be a much higher difficulty level later on. But as you can see, they are not going to be too harmful to you, especially if you are going to try to get out of the way of their shooting. So make sure that you are going to do that. There's this little drag down always. I'm not sure why that is happening, if this is intentional or not, but if you have a look at it, our little fighter is going down all the time, and you sometimes just have to bring him up again. And good thing is we are close to killing the second one behind there. Okay, killed that one. Ouch. And the third one should be easy, or the first one should be easy to kill too. Okay. After that he is going to fly away, and be aware that your health bar is the same in the next level. So in this case you can see we now have some kind of bugs attacking us, so the enemies are going to be different and there is a little bit of a different background scene going on here. So in this case we are more or less fighting in a forest or something, and this is the level 2. Yeah, as mentioned before, it's going to be not too hard to play this game, but not that easy neither. Because in some situations they are really... Yeah, this is for instance one of those situations where it's really hard to get in there. But the good thing is our secondary fire is going to handle that. You don't have to kill everything, it's not going to help you or something. Other than, of course, that you are going to get more of the points there, which are shown at the bottom, of course. So give them something to run for. Be careful not to hit the enemies, of course. If you are going to do that, as you can see, your health is going to suffer greatly. Sometimes you get more money or more power-ups to increase your health again, but it's not very common to be there. So be very careful that you're not going to get to hit too many of those, and especially be aware that there are going to be these guys, for instance, which are pretty large and will really take quite a beating before they are going to be dead. So be careful to have enough of the secondary fire mode available for them, especially if they are going to fly to you in a larger kind of group. It's really hard to get rid of them. And yeah, sometimes it's easier to avoid them. It depends on what you want to do there. Okay. So I think this is a place where they are going to attack us in a pretty large amount of firing guys or of enemies. Good thing is the secondary fire is flying through the enemies, so for larger amounts of... Ooh, that one is new, I didn't see that one till now. For larger amounts of enemies, it might be a good idea. It's pretty hard to get that one, and it's taking quite a beating too. Not sure if I should. Yeah, it can take a punch or two. But we should be able to kill it. Hopefully he doesn't get me. Yeah, okay. Got him first, but pretty low on health now, as you can see. So that guy is a little bit of an annoyance, and I'm pretty sure we are going to die in the next few waves that are going to fire at us. But yeah, I think this is more or less what you should know about this game. Of course, the graphics are very limited and stuff like that, but I think it's a fun little game. By playing it, you will see that, and yeah, if you are going to fly into somebody, then it's going to be end at this moment. For some reason it got dropped off then, but it doesn't really matter, we died anyway, so I hope you liked that, and I think the game is pretty nice and you should try it out. Okay. So, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. This is the end of the episode. If you liked the episode, please give it a thumbs up, of course. And if, for instance, you have any kind of questions or commentary or something, put it down into the commentary section down below, of course. And other than that, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, of course, if you didn't till now. And other than that, thanks. And see you around in the next episode next week. So, bye-bye and see you later.